Alright, so tonight was the night, the first Impact after lockdown, which was, in my mind, one of the best pay-per-views TNA's had in quite some time. And the reason I say that is because I was actually interested in seeing what was going to happen on Impact tonight following lockdown. That's never happened before. Until recently, I usually skip Impact altogether. But I was intrigued and I was interested in seeing what was going to happen. We started off with MVP hitting the ring, talking about how he has, taken control of the company from Dixie Carter, and talking about how he's going to move forward with control of TNA and how things will work. Magnus comes out and interrupts him and talks about how he's still the champion and how he doesn't agree with anything MVP's doing. He brings out Abyss, who has a new mask and a new look. Very interesting. I like it better than the old look. It's a cool look. MVP responds to Abyss by bringing out Samoa Joe because he thinks it's right, which it was. He drops a bombshell in that Samoa Joe is going to be getting a rematch for the title next week on Impact. Also, he's fighting Abyss right now. So the match starts, and shortly after the match starts, we go to commercial, we come back. Decent match. Couple other interesting highlights and good highlights. One, Jeff Hardy, or Willow, fought Rockstar Spud, he's the epitomization of a heel, but it's just a horrible gimmick. Like I said last time, it's a terrible gimmick. You can't take it seriously. I mean, the British accent, I don't care, but just the look, the gimmick, everything about the gimmick is ridiculous. It makes TNA look like a circus act. They need to have something that looks a little bit more legit. As far as Rockstar, even a new name, Rockstar Spud is a horrible name it's a horrible ring name. Jeff Hardy just Willow obliterates Rockstar Spud, hits the Twist of Fate on the ref after the ref DQs Willow for using his umbrella on Rockstar Spud, hitting him with it. Hits the Twist of Fate on the ref. It doesn't look like Jeff Hardy can control the Willow character at all, which is awesome because TNA needs some ruthless aggression and some attitude. Gets out of chair, gets out of ladder, sets up the ladder, and then does the whole putting Spud's leg through the chair and just stomping on it 4 or 5 times, just completely blowing out Spud's knee. Then climbing the ladder and basically doing a flying body press off of the ladder, a splash. True Jeff Hardy form. Honestly, so far, up to this point, Impact hasn't been horrible. Still the promos are still awful. They still need to get some wrestlers that can cut a good promo and know how to use a mic right. But that'll come in time. The report is that TNA is focusing on younger and newer talent. Hopefully they're going to start training the new talent to be on TV, because if they don't, they're not going to be on TV for much longer, especially with WWE looking for a new TV deal. TNA could be on the outs pretty quickly if they don't get their act straight, and it looks like they're making moves to do that. There were rumors that a TNA Knockout was going to be returning. That TNA Knockout was Angelina Love. You may remember her from The Beautiful People and all that good stuff. She wants to re-team with Velvet Sky, and Velvet Sky basically says that she has had a lot of changing, a lot of soul searching. She's found herself. She needs some time to think about it. And they hug it out. They're BFFs. And, of course, because they're women. But we'll see what happens with this. Angelina Love is back. To close out Impact tonight, Bully Ray comes out and cuts a promo on why he did what he did at Lockdown, and talks about how he's taken out everybody from the Rude clan except Bobby Roode, the It Factor. And then the It Factor himself comes down because Bully Ray says he wants to do what he does best. That is fight Bobby Roode right now. Bobby Roode comes out. They go at it for about 2 minutes. Bully Ray gets the table out, obviously. Famous for the tables with him and Devon and Team 3D and the Dudleys, all that good stuff. Famous for the tables, made the tables cool. Even the flaming tables, but that didn't happen on Impact tonight, unfortunately, because that would have been awesome. Bobby Roode counters, tries to put him in the Roode Bomb. Bully Ray counters that. Hits him with the 3D, whatever you call it, with Devon. I don't know what it is without Devon, but it's the 3D, Diamond Cutter RKO, Twist of Fate, 3D. Then power bombs Bobby Roode through the table, and as Impact is going off the air. Overall, it wasn't a bad Impact. It wasn't the best, but you can see a little bit of improvement in a couple different places with MVP running the show. It looks like he's brought some attitude and some, like I said, ruthless aggression to TNA. Thank God, because it was getting so stale. There's actually some excitement in TNA lately. Some excitement surrounding it. They're back in the Impact Zone in Orlando. And unlike Lockdown, which had less than 1,500 people, I believe, you couldn't tell from TV, but then again, of course you couldn't. Which is a shame because it wasn't horrible. I know Conan hates TNA and slams them, and rightly so, because it's not great, but remember, they haven't been around for horribly long yet, so they're still finding their identity in the wrestling world, and as a wrestling promotion, maybe they shouldn't be on TV just yet. But I mean, Lockdown was a good sign of things to come, and Impact has improved over the last few weeks as well. This was, one of the better Impacts we've seen, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. Obviously, there's some hype built up already with Samoa Joe against Magnus for the title. Look for a special stipulation on that match, or look for something interesting to happen with that, with MVP running things. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. It looks like you guys are liking the last couple I've done on TNA, which is surprising that my TNA podcasts have gotten more views and comments than the WWE podcasts. But like I said, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know. We'll see you after Raw.